Speaking of, let's stay on the small cap story because there are thousands of great, smaller, often family-owned or run companies across America that could use an investment to scale up. Your next guest company wants to help them do that, but also not saddle them with loads of just crushing debt. Ryan Petticourt is the CEO of Tide Rock. They invest in smaller businesses, but do not leverage them up with tons of debt. Ryan, good to have you on.
Thank you.
So your job is to hunt companies. You find companies that want to grow. They need money. They need advice, maybe. They need management strategy, whatever it might be. Are there still good companies left in America? Good, smaller, family-owned companies?
There are so many good companies. You think about private equity, where the most of it plays kind of that 10 million plus EBITDA. There's a lot of companies there. There are exponentially more companies that sub 10 million EBITDA, and a lot of them are great companies.
So what do they need and what do they want? And what does Tide Rock give them that they can't get elsewhere?
So we're an unlevered buyout firm. We look for companies that are founder-run in that lower market. And when we work with them, we are giving them the resources, the growth team, a playbook to really move from that founder-run, one person doing most of the work into a more professionalized organization.
So unlevered, that's a fancy word for not a lot of debt or no debt in some cases. So how does your model work versus the, I'm doing air quotes, traditional private equity model?
Yeah, so very different from traditional private equity funds. We're closer to a holding company structure. But instead of taking all the profit we generate to redeploy to buy more equity, we distribute that profit out to investors to create yield. And that yield allows us to then be permanent capital, because we don't have to sell the companies to be able to make money for our investors, and allows us to be unlevered. So we can take all that profit rather than paying debt, and we can distribute it, and we can focus on growing the companies the right way.
So it's interesting because I have a lot of friends in the private equity world, okay? And so with all due respect to them and everybody else, listen, they're always looking for an exit, right? I mean, that's the idea is I'm going to invest in you, but you're going to either go public or you're going to sell or some other kind of event where I get all my money back plus a lot more. That's how private equity gets rich.
That's right.
So why choose your model over that? It would seem to be does that help you at Tide Rock?
Well, private equity, there's one way to make money, and that's equity appreciation. A lot of smart people figure out different ways to extract that. But in business, there's actually a lot of ways to make money. And the profit that you generate, the equity appreciation, the portfolio companies within that, we're unlocking all of that. So we can focus on the growth and the operational excellence of the companies. And we hold companies for decades. And sometimes we grow them so fast that we're no longer the best person to be managing them, and we'll pass them to somebody else. But that flexibility to be able to have different levers to make money and to grow the businesses allows us more consistency in our returns.
Yeah, because there is you've heard I'm sure you've heard the theme, and you grew up in the pretty much the same area, San Diego area, that you can't build a company in America anymore. Forget about it. Don't start a company. I think that's garbage, right? I mean, there's lots of great companies out there that probably just need a little bit of help to hit that next level.
Absolutely. There are so many great companies out there. We find the companies where you have these amazing tradesmen, and the tradesmen founders are able to build a super high quality product service. But they don't know how to go, or they haven't chosen to build the sales organizations to take them to that scale.
Like seafood.
Seawinds?
Yes.
Yeah, like Seawind, yes. Yeah, they have this great product or service, and we're able to come in and help them show how to scale that with some sales talent, some marketing, and some infrastructure to continue to support that. And now all of a sudden, everybody learns about this amazing company that was there people didn't even know existed.
Yeah.